1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Hey, can y'all hear me out there? Against all odds. 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 Against all odds.
The podcast.
Shout out to Rockhound Detroit Lions, man. One pride.
All right. Hey, welcome into an afternoon edition here of Rockhound Detroit Lions, an extension of the Rise and Grind morning show. Hey, we've got a special event group in here tonight. We've got, well, you know the song, Uncaged, by the band Adaboy. They're going to be joining us here in just a few moments to give us a live interview talking about their song, their band, and what it means to them and what they're all about. Excited. I know Eric's excited, being a former musician, to have these guys in. But first, Eric and I are going to get into a little bit of conversation here. What's going on with the Detroit Lions? Let me get Eric in. Good afternoon is different than good morning. I almost said it, but what's happening, man?
Yeah, boom. Here we are. Let's go. I love it.
So, injury news.
Yeah.
Did I just see that AQM is injured?
Well, I just looked this up, and there was 3 people missing from practice today. 3 important ones. Kirby Joseph, running back Craig Reynolds, and pass rusher Al-Qadim Muhammad. We need Al-Qadim this weekend because we need to be putting J.J. McCarthy on his backside all day, all Sunday. Him and Aiden need to feast and have a day because the Vikings offensive line is beat up. So we need a big game out of those 2 this weekend. And then you throw in a Lee McNeil. Oh, man. Should be a bloodbath.
Yeah, it should be. Look, Lee McNeil's he's a needle mover, man. He's going to be moving that pocket. A couple of things on the tip of my tongue here. So Dan Campbell earlier today, very, very confident that defensive end Marcus Davenport will play again in 2025. And this is, I mean, it's a big statement, but what he said was, I can't give you a definite or definitive. This is when he's going to be back. But he did say, I am very confident he is going to be back. We're going to get him back here. That was the end quote. That was this afternoon. Obviously, the Lions have been a little bit shorthanded at defensive end. I wouldn't say all season. Josh Pascal has been, still missing in action. The rumors about looking for a defensive end, is it true? Is it untrue? I'm going to go with they're probably always looking at every position. I don't think that there's one position that they're never looking at. If, in fact, AQM is injured, if he does have some sort of a knee injury, that's a problem. As far as Ahmed Hassanin being absent, still from practice, he still has a couple weeks left before he can even come back to the team. Like, I don't know that he adds an immediate option for the Lions. He missed a large part of the preseason. So I'm not so sure that is the answer, right? I'm not as high on that being any sort of an answer for depth even. I guess we'll see what happens in that regard. But Al-Qadim Muhammad and Tyler Lacey, they've been doing a really good job at defensive end, so far throughout this season. I think that Tyler Lacey has done an excellent job in his limited role so far. And I think sky's the limit for him to get acclimated even more to this team as the season wanes on. Thoughts on defensive end and injury status for you?
Yeah, well, Al-Qadim Muhammad, it says that it was an undisclosed injury today. So it doesn't say whether it was an injury, he had a day off because of his kids or something. It doesn't say. It just says undisclosed for him. And then we also...
Well, hold on, back up on that. Yeah. Undisclosed meaning injury, but they didn't state what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's most likely,
he didn't have a day off the way I understood it. It was undisclosed, meaning they just didn't state what the injury was. But anyway, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And then we can't forget Tyrus Wheat. He got a sack in the last game. It was actually a trip, but he did get credited with a sack. So that's awesome. And he got a $5,000 fine. But as long as he keeps doing that, getting to the quarterback, I'm happy. For a kid that we picked up off the waiver wire at the deadline, that's not too bad.
No, not at all. And they're young. They're really young. So when you speak to the depth, obviously that's a big move for the Lions to try to hang on to these guys moving into the offseason, which is still a long way away. Brian Brandt, she's super excited to get back to practice and ready to play this week. And obviously he's probably more motivated than ever, really, after everything that went down. I'm expecting a big game out of Brian Branch. So even though that the Lions could be a little bit light, depending on whether AQM makes it back or not, look, I think that Brian Branch is going to be used in situations that maybe we haven't seen yet. And I'm saying that because I'm expecting a Brian Branch sack against Minnesota. You heard it here first. It's coming. Branch said of playing this Sunday and playing well, he said, look, it's another chip on my shoulder. They just added. They underscored, bolded in giant red letters. They. You know who they is. He says, I do want to apologize for what I did. That's something that I don't condone and will never happen again. But the suspension definitely added another chip to my shoulder. As if Brian Branch needed another chip, right? This is a guy that has just been picked on, right? And to use his words, he was bullied in that last game. Whatever that means in the context of football is all the extra little stuff. After the whistle, it's, the things not getting called that, the other guys are getting away with, the little rabbit punches that you don't see. I don't know. Maybe they're twisting his nipples. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, you get what I'm saying here, right? I mean, Brian Branch is so loaded right now with wanting to come out of this game this weekend with a big impact, and I think he's going to have one. Dan Campbell said that he mentioned to the team yesterday, he said, I just kind of put up where everything is stacking in the NFC right now. It's very competitive, especially at this point in the season. For one conference alone, right? 3 teams right now within a game of each other. And he stated that, hey, this is where we're at. This is where these teams are at. And these are the things that are about to shake out with within the month of November. You're going to start seeing the risers and the fallers. And a lot of these teams are playing each other, and we are one of them. So it's really just handle your business, man. And the bottom line is find a way to win your division. And we've got Minnesota coming in here. That's number 1. And then you worry about the next one after that. So Lions starting the post-bye week off with a divisional game. It's a big game. Comments on that?
Listen, I think that Brian Branch is going to be a man on fire when he comes back from the suspension.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have something to prove. And you know what? Maybe when he gets blocked in the back, he's going to walk right over to the ref and say, hey, if you let them do that again, we're going to be sending a letter to the NFL because this stuff isn't right. This is a bunch of BS. The guy's blocking me in the back on every other play. You guys better do something. And I would hope that maybe he'd walk over to Dan Campbell and say, hey, listen, you need to do something about this because this is illegal, needs to stop, and maybe Dan talks to the ref for him because he's got to keep it clean, keep his nose clean. None of this extracurricular getting mad stuff after the whistle stuff. That's got to stop. And he's got to be a man on fire. He needs to put everything he has into it. And let's see the Brian Branch we all know and love, the one that gets interceptions and takes him back for touchdowns. He did have one this year. It just got called back for a penalty, but he did have one.
Yeah.
So I see that Brian Branch coming back after this bye week and his suspension.
The clear-headed Brian Branch is that's a good player you want on your side. It's not a player you want on the other side of you. Lastly, here we have cornerback Terrion Arnold, starting corner. I'm going to say starting corner Terrion Arnold. I know that people still don't like this guy. I don't know why. Backup safety Avonte Maddox, Sione Vaki, all 3 returned to practice today on Tuesday. Kirby Joseph, like Eric said earlier, with a knee, he was out. Taylor Decker, Craig Reynolds, all did not practice today. I assume a lot of that is rest. Look, Kirby doesn't need to go through a full week. Taylor Decker doesn't need to go through a full week. Craig Reynolds doesn't need to go through a full week. Whether we get some of those guys back for the weekend, it is what it is. Anything else you want to touch on before we bring in the 4 men that are going to bless us with great conversation here?
Just a little bit about, I watched Dan Campbell's press conference. He is very adamant that the Vikings are a good team still, that they still have a good defense, and that J.J. McCarthy is a wild card. And we can't take him lightly, and I don't think they are going to take him lightly. And I know we didn't lose last week. We beat the Buccaneers, but it almost feels like the Lions lost their last game and they can't lose 2 in a row by losing this one. I think that this might be our next best chance to put up a 50 burger on another team.
You really think so?
I think so. This is going to be the. You guys hung around with us last year, but you're not hanging with us this year.
All right.
Yep.
All right. I love it. I love the energy, man. All right. So just dropped it in the chat, pinned the message, and that is the Adaboy YouTube channel. Please dip over there and subscribe, whether it's after the show or whatever, but please check it out. Subscribe to Adaboy. But hey, let's get these guys in here and let's get this conversation rolling. So Adaboy, the song Uncaged. Bring him in here in just 1 sec. Give me 2 seconds. Let me get this back and set up. All right, here we go. Gentlemen, start your engines. What's happening? That's Adaboy, man. Nice tune. Good work. You know, let me get you guys unmuted here. We'll start there. We'll start with that. Top left, going to the right, then down and over. Who do we have?
I'm Joe.
I'm Vincent.
Mike.
I'm Steve.
All right. And I'm Will, and that's Eric. Welcome into Rockhound Detroit Lions. It's an afternoon show, and we have Adaboy on with us. That was Uncaged. And I mean, I want to go do some laps right now. I want to go do some laps. I gotta put it up to a vote because for a while there, I was told that the intro to Rockhound Detroit Lions is one of the best songs out there. and I just got squashed, like squashed. That is a hell of a song. So I got to start with the first question. Is really the origin story. Whoever wants to start. We talked about the hierarchy. You guys can explain that later. I still don't get it, but where did it start, man? What inspired you guys to write this for the Detroit Lions? Was it for the Detroit Lions? And how did the idea first come together?
Yeah, so we I guess we've all been Detroit Lions fans pretty much all our life, and we were talking just how Dan Campbell was, literally from his first press conference. It's a mindset that I think a lot of Michiganders could relate to, and it was real, organic, authentic, and that I think that spoke to a lot of Michiganders and longtime Lions fans. And so we're like, we got hyped just like everybody else did. Like, let's go. What do you guys think about, going and recording like a Lions hype anthem song?
Yeah, it's definitely hyped. That's for sure. I love it, man. I got to hear this thing in the stadium though, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But you just said something that really resonates with me too, and that is Dan Campbell's first press conference. I don't know if it was the kneecap biting thing that really resonated with me in the beginning. I didn't get it at first. It was just what you said, the real, the raw, the authentic Michigan and what we've been through and what I don't care, being a Lions fan for 40 plus years, been through a lot. Well, haven't been through enough because we never were able to go anywhere, but you know what I'm saying. Been through a lot, but it was the passion and the bring your lunch pail to work kind of mentality that Dan Campbell brought back, and even though he was a player here for a short time, he got it, and he got it at a pretty big level. So let me go top left here, and we'll kind of work our way around, man. If you could give us a quick bio about you, what do you do in the band, and how long you been doing it, man? How long you been a musician?
Well, my name is Joe Balbaugh. I play bass and I sing in Adaboy. I also do some piano and a couple other things like in the studio. But I've been playing music on a professional level since I was 15 years old. I am 38 now, so not to age myself or anything. But hey, no. So in the band, we all kind of try to take our part. But that's my role, I guess. I just play bass and sing and enjoy doing it.
If I didn't know that you were from the Michigan area, you just said something that glued you to Michigan, and that is the two words, we and all. That is a Michigan thing, and if you know, you know. If you don't know, now you know. All right, Mike, go. You're up.
Yeah, Mike Richards. I'm one of the singers in Adaboy. I'm one of the founding members. The band started about 18 years ago and has evolved over the years. I'm a former public school music teacher. And so I went to school at Saginaw Valley State University, got my degree in music education. And I found myself always wanting to, never losing that spark to be a performer. I think for a lot of musicians, it starts for that love on being on stage. And so, I don't teach public school anymore. I just left that job this past year before school started, and I'm full-time Attaboy.
Well, that a boy, love it, man. And there's nothing like giving back to the youth and the kids and help fulfilling that next generation, man. That's awesome. Bottom right, I believe, is you, Vincent. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Vince. I play guitar. I compose and produce. And I've been doing it for, I don't know, somewhere 25 years or so. I think I'm the second youngest. I think it's me that Joe's actually the youngest. So, yeah, we've been together for a few years. And then we have our newest member, Steve Nyquist.
All right, Steve.
Hello. So I've been playing professionally for nearly 30 years now. also studied music at Saginaw Valley State University with Mike. We were both percussionists, and also got my degree in music education. And I decided to go a little different route with teaching, and opened up my own private studio to teach students of all ages.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And then Eric, man, what do you have for the guys next?
All right, so I got to know, where did the name Adaboy come from?
Oh man, when I was in my early 20s, I was a drummer primarily for a long time. That was my first instrument, and then I started to write my own music, and then I went into a local recording studio in Bay City, and I recorded like a 4 or 5 song EP and started sharing it with my friends, and I kept getting the responses like "Attaboy," like it was, people were digging the sound, and and so I'm like, well, okay, well, we're just gonna roll with it. And Attaboy, and that's how it initially started. But as the music started to evolve, our mission started to reveal itself. And Attaboy has taken on kind of a mantra of growth mindset, forward thinking type of music. And so all four of these men in this band have gone through the trials and tribulations that life will give you, especially being Michigander, living in these winters, 6, 7 months out of the year, if not more. We're hardened up here a little bit, and so there's a different type of lifestyle, and so our music is taken on type of a survivor type of mission, and so that's probably where this our music and Uncaged comes from, is we relate to the Lions mindset and their core values of grit and you know all that good stuff.
Do you have a future song that's going to be called Grit at some point? Like what's the plan there? Are you giving that any thought?
Well,
Yep, yep.
was in the we tried to incorporate it into our title and into our song. So that's really interesting, and that's a great question. But as far as Attaboy's attachment to us being from Michigan and having a song about the Lions, like we often talk because sporting analogies between being in a band and being a football team, both team related. Football is a team sport, and Attaboy is a team sport, right? So it's not just one or a artist. We're all for one, all. So it's really exciting part of the song. Voted with Chuck. Uh,
Hey Vince, I think I'm losing your audio a little bit.
oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, his mic's cutting out quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't know why it would be doing that.
Well, to piggyback what he's saying is we are a team sport. A lot of bands in the music industry these days, you see a lot of artists take on their own name, and it's a lot about the I. And that is something that I think society's getting away from. We're seeing a shift where it's more about you know we're a band that likes music from the past, where bands would actually put their egos aside and actually work together as a group to come up with this common goal of like creating a well-crafted mature music, timeless music, some people would say. Um, but that's how we approach this band. It's not it's not Mike Richards in the Attaboys. It's not Joe Belbaugh in the Attaboys. It's not Vincent Modern in the Attaboys. Um, we write music with when we get to that point, there's a song in the middle of us, and we all put our our thoughts,
Flavor.
emotions together, and I think that's and it's a lot what Dan Campbell does with his team. It's just it felt like he was talking to us, as we're about to release our new album.
I got to bring Vince back in, but yeah, man, you hit the nail on the head there, and I can't appreciate that enough. The inclusivity, the inclusiveness of what everyone's doing collectively together. I don't know if this is a good analogy or not, but before the Beatles separated, I mean, you can go all the way back then to a unit of a group that they didn't really care about their name individually as much back then. Good timeless music from way back when, but yeah, I like it, man. I like the idea. I like it. Let me get Vince back in here. Would you?
Go ahead. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Vincent.
To see if the connection would be any better.
Hold on.
Yeah, everything went super echo, slapback.
All right, Vince. I don't know what did he do different. Do we know?
I don't know. There, it's gone.
Well, I had to turn him. I had to mute him.
Yeah. Might have to just unmute him when he talks. When he talked, he didn't have slapback, but everybody else did.
All right, Vince, try again. No, I don't hear him at all.
Nothing. Yep.
All right, one more time.
Testing, test.
There he is.
There we go.
Hello.
There, that's better.
All right.
So what are you guys talking about?
Well, that let me get into my next question here. I lost my train of thought there for a moment. So the Detroit connection really is next. Really, how does being a Michigan-based band shape the way you approach creating the Lions anthem? I think you started to talk about that and how, it's just being from Michigan. It's everything that you've gone through, everything that we've been through, being a little bit hardened. But what is it like to be a Michigan-based band? How did it shape the anthem?
Well, I think the first word that comes to mind is authenticity. Like, this is the real deal. And so when Detroit Campbell, he comes to town and he starts talking about this team, it's really, inspiring. And more than just words, I'm inspiring. So when we arrived as a band, when we decided, let's do this, well, we didn't want to make just an ordinary song. We didn't want to make a good song. We want to be authentic, great. And so, talked to Chuck Alkazian at Pro Sound Studios, and we really connected on this level because Chuck has experience in the category with writing a song about the University of Michigan football. So we worked with him, and we really, really wanted to come away with something that we would be very well pleased with, that we feel like would represent the team, but our state, but also this anthem about overcoming. Because a strong theme with Adaboy is to write songs about overcoming adversity and difficult problems, to offer a perspective of hope and assuredness that love always.
I caught most of that. Tom, let me go to you for a moment. And I got most of that, Vince. I love it. Tom, let me go to you for a moment. So playing Uncaged. How many times have you guys played this song live, do you think?
4 or 5 times now.
Okay. And when you play that song live in Michigan, I assume that's where most of your shows have been in Michigan?
Yes.
Okay. How does that compare to your other songs? Meaning the crowd energy, is there a shift? Like what happens when that song gets played versus whatever else you're playing?
It's been kind of an undeniable reaction. When we we'll play the song and perfect example, a couple shows ago we were playing, I think it would have been our second time we ever performed it live. We were playing at Baines Apple Valley. It was this gig outside an apple spot where they got these craft cocktails and stuff like that, and we're playing at this apple barn, and we play in the games the next day, and people are keying in and they're kind of paying attention but not really. We started playing and it went from everybody having conversations at their table to staring directly at us,
Getting their phone out.
Yeah, getting their phones out and in recording and different things like that. And but every person that has said anything about this song reaction wise, it has literally been, why is this not the Tunnel Run Out song?
There you go. And that's where I was hoping we were going to get. Has there been any connection? And Eric, I want to go to you. Next question, if you don't mind. Has there been any connection yet to the Lions? Is anyone working on relationship? Has it been sent? I'm sure they've heard it. But I mean, is there anything in the works here? Can anyone answer that? Or are we not allowed to know yet?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
Behind the scenes, Chip Latham, Bernard Porter referred to us, a booking agent friend, and so we do have people representing us, making contact with the organization, because as of yesterday, we have one particular clip of TikTok and Instagram as well that reached over 500,000 views. One clip. So altogether,
Hey, one sec, Vincent. Mike, can you hit
Yeah,
that
yeah.
for us?
Yeah,
You cut out a little bit, Vince. I apologize.
So we have, as of last winter, we signed with Red 39 Record Entertainment, Chip Latham, and one of the clips that we released with some of the fan reactions of Uncaged, we have organically hit over 500,000 views on our social media, and it's not like we haven't paid anything for ads to it at all. It's literally been like a brush fire that's just kind of kept going, and we're like, you guys seeing these numbers? And like, what's going on? Like, and it's been pretty awesome. But I would say tens of thousands of people have literally said in the comment section, this should be the Lions run out, or these guys should play at the Super Bowl, or like people are just, it's wild.
I mean, I think it would be a great song, or bits and portions of it. Now they've done, some new things this year, but it seems like we've been kind of stuck with the same music, quite often,
I reached out to the marketing managers. I got on LinkedIn to see kind of the business side, and there's a couple of the marketing managers that I tried to send it to them. I think we got the right names, but we haven't had really any no talks yet as far as them adopting, or maybe them licensing the song or anything like that. But the season's still young, and even if it doesn't happen this year, we're gonna have this song for the rest of our life.
So I'm thinking like there has to be a way, and I don't know if they've already have everything planned for every halftime show, but even if you were to do the show for free, like I'm sure they would love to have that then. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a way to get you in the door.
They wouldn't have to pay us. they would gladly, yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see you guys in there at halftime. All right, Eric, what's up next?
My God, after some of the halftime shows we've had at Ford
Oh,
Field,
I know. They're just
like
terrible.
Thanksgiving a couple of years ago, that guy was so awful. Oh, God, I would love a rock band. My favorite like halftime show or whatever type thing so far at every game I've ever been to at Ford Field was Chad Smith of the Red Hot Chili Peppers coming out and drumming with the drum line from the Detroit Lions. That was my favorite. So I guess this question would be for Mike and a couple of the other guys. How did you guys meet me?
It was God's will.
You might want to be careful there.
And a couple people in the chat wanted to know if you guys are my brothers, because we all have the nice beards. So
yeah, I feel left out. I'm gonna have to go grab my beard now. Damn it.
It was just by chance, Eric. You were decked out. You were like a super fan, and we went down there last season. Probably one of the coldest, maybe the coldest day of the winter so far.
Oh, that day was so cold.
It was brutal.
Yeah. So we were looking. We're like, let's take this song and let's see if we can get some fan reactions. And we were looking for those super fans, and well, I mean, you were an obvious choice. So
awesome. So when is the full video and the release of your song going to be, like where we can go purchase it? How can we purchase it? And when is this full video going to hit YouTube and everywhere else?
Yeah. So we're actually putting together a show, probably if it's not in December, it's going to be in January. where people will actually be able to come to a theater. We're going to put on a show, and they're actually going to be able to view on the big screen our music video, and then we're also going to do a live performance as well. And then so I'm guessing it's going to be at the end of the year, probably close to the playoffs.
Where? I'm sorry, which theater was it?
We're looking to probably do it in the Bay City area. That
Okay.
seems to be like, we haven't actually nailed down any of the dates, but we're gonna probably look at like the State Theater or somewhere where it's gonna be able to hold anywhere from 5 to 1,000 people. It's so it's still in the works, but we're gonna be releasing it, and yeah, we go to every home game and we tailgate and we take our boom box and we walk around all the tailgates. So some of you in the chat may have seen us already.
Hopefully we can get that to change next year. So Bay City, best fireworks I've ever been to was 5 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I think it was before COVID. Best fireworks I've ever seen in Bay City. I'll touch base with you when we're done, but there's some areas out here too that would be good for you to check out.
I mean, really, we're trying to break into the Detroit scene. We haven't been able to play too much in the Detroit area.
I don't know much about Detroit, but I don't know enough about West Michigan. I don't know where to play over in the Detroit area, honestly. But Fox Theater would be a good theater to go do a release.
Yeah, that's a good start.
There you go. How about future vision here? Do you guys see yourselves making more of these sports inspired tracks? Have you thought about doing different teams, or was this just a one-off? And maybe you're going to add more just because you're Lions fans, you're in Michigan, or could you see yourself venturing into more sports teams to do a hype video or a hype song like this?
I really think that we're open to it. Adaboy's not really a band that subscribes to a certain genre of music. We kind of look at ourselves as just musicians, and then we write music to whatever inspires us. So, I mean, when you go and listen to our other original music, we hit genres like reggae, we hit rock, we hit pop rock, we hit country. So we're a mixed bag, really, and that's kind of how we envision our career going. Is when you hear Adaboy music, it's you're going to be a fan of us if you're just a music lover in general, like not just one genre of music.
I gotcha, and maybe you've already answered it, but I guess I was gonna kind of ask you, where do you see yourself as far as which genre? But it sounds like all different types of rock and whatever, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the way we prefer it, I think, because that's how we stay authentic, we stay organic, and it's creating music that appeals to 5-year-olds all the way up to 99-year-olds. And
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Eric, any other questions for you?
You ever heard of a band called 12 Foot Ninja? When you get a chance, check them out. That's one of my favorite bands. They're more of a metal band, but they mix in everything from country to reggae to pop to conga music to everything, and they mix it in the boundaries of metal. And their guitar player Stevik uses a Line 6 Variax guitar, and it's called the Shuriken, and that's the guitar that I bought. And it can be any instrument you want it to be, any tuning, all at the touch of a button and a pedal. And it's just amazing the things that have come out in the last 10, 15 years for music equipment. And bands are just sounding better and better and better all the time. And, when I went to music college, we didn't have a thing called YouTube. I couldn't look up how to play a song. I had to learn it by ear. You just had to play it over and over and over again with a tape recorder back and forth. And didn't even have a CD player back then, had a tape deck, So things have really gotten a lot different for musicians these days. And I wish you guys a whole bunch of luck with this and keep it up. And that song is very catchy. It sticks in your head. I'm still humming it in my head as we're going along here. And I cannot wait to see the full length video.
Yeah,
it's going to be great.
So your website, which is www.adaboymusic.com. If you could tell us where everyone can find you, those social medias, what can they purchase on your website? I just threw your website up here just to kind of show them what they can see. Little live performance. Where was this performance at?
Go ahead, Joe.
This performance was a music video that we shot for another song. It was in a barn, right? This was like kind of a barn performance, and it was very cold. Another very cold day.
You guys got that theme going. The
I know,
Michigan
we
cold
always need
theme.
to find the cold days.
Yep.
It sucks to play instruments in the cold, let me tell you.
Yeah, I could imagine how your hands have just got to be frozen. Yeah, I love it, man. I love the energy. I love the song. We've got to get it inside the Detroit Lions somehow. So I'm going to end with this because you're Lions fans. We're going to go top left. We're going to go around. I know Steve, you're one of the newer ones. Favorite player for the Detroit Lions. Favorite moment as a Lions fan. Whatever it is, you got to let us know. So we'll start with you, Joe.
My favorite player of present is Aiden Hutchinson. My favorite player of past is Corey Schlesinger.
Wow, nice. Corey Schlesinger.
Yeah. I always respected the idea of like him and Mike Allstott were like the two last fullbacks in the NFL at the time.
Yeah.
Like fullbacks being used, but I just remember like respecting his grit and work ethic, like looking at no matter what, he was breaking his face mask for that team. I literally watched him do it on TV,
he was a thumper, man. He was a thumper.
Yeah. And as a kid, I always thought that was cool. And then, you watch the tenacity that Hutch plays with, and it kind of reminds me of that.
Awesome. We'll go to you, Mike. What is your favorite moment or player or whatever you want to talk about?
Yeah. Right now, I think the key special player is Jamar Gibbs, and the dude's just special. And my favorite time, the key point was when Amon-Ra caught that touchdown for their first win a couple seasons ago.
Against the Vikings.
It was against the Vikings, right? Yep. And it was right on the goal line, and he literally fell right over the line, and it was like that's what you could feel the shift. And then even the next game after that, you're like something like clicked with that team.
Yeah.
And it's like that was it was like a psychological moment where they were able to get over the hump, and then it all clicked for them, and then that's when they just started lighting it up. So that moment sticks out to me.
Two big time big time moments for Detroit. That Amon-Ra catch, man, and I can hear Dan Miller in my ears right now and everything that he's saying after that catch. It's over. Lions are gonna win the NFC North and da 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 da. Yeah, what a great time. How about you, Vince? Oh, hold on. I think I accidentally muted you. Hold on, buddy. There we go. No, you're not muted. Go ahead.
Well, probably a is a favorite player. However, Amon-Ra Brown, so inspiring on the field. The way that he approaches the game when he talks about pressure and performance, talks about not getting too high and not getting low. Stay focused. It's something that we as a band, we can relate to that very much as well. Performing in front of thousands of people, right? You don't want to get high, you don't want to get low, and you just want to stay steady and perform professionally, right? You want the audience.
Yeah, I think I lost you again. But I think I got it. What you're saying, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he never wants to get too high, never wants to get too low. He wants to stay steady. He keeps working. He always works his ass off. He's always practicing. He's always putting the work in. And I could see how that assimilates to the energy of your band. And then Steve, man, we haven't heard from you much. I know you're a little bit new. Tell us a little bit, more about you, and then what your favorite player is about, or favorite player or Lions moment, and then I think we'll let you guys get back to jamming.
Yeah. So I've just been in the band a few months now. It's been a wonderful time spending time with these guys. Both Mike and Joe, we go back many years, and so it's been a great experience, kind of rekindling, friendship through this band and getting closer with these guys, and Vince, meeting him and spending time with him and talking with him has just been absolutely wonderful. In regards to the Lions, it's been absolutely joyful to experience the energy of the Lions with Adaboy. I haven't really followed football in some time, and so now this is kind of rekindling my fire with that and my interest with that and getting me back into it. And so it's been a blast, kind of learning about the current culture with the Detroit Lions and everything that's going on and the energy and the vibe. And I'd really like the vibe of the Lions seems to be right in line with the vibe of Adaboy right now, and it's really enjoyable to experience.
It is, man. Being a lifelong Lions fan myself, starting out at the ripe old age of 4, 27 years of season tickets, starting to do this after, cancer woke me up. It's it changes you, man. And the Lions are changing a lot of people. I think the Lions have done a lot of good, not only just for the city of Detroit, the state of Michigan, all the Lions fans around the world, but also for a lot of people. Their message, their energy, and I'm glad you guys are doing what you're doing. So, Eric, final thoughts for you to add a boy, and then we'll carry on.
You guys rock. I love it. And one of you guys, let everyone know where they can go today to purchase some of your music and check your stuff out.
Yeah. Our song is released everywhere you listen to your music. It's been out for just over a month. You can go to Apple Music, Amazon, Google Play, anywhere you listen and get your music. You can download it and purchase it. And that always helps us and gets the word out. You can go to our Facebook page or any of our social media pages. Our handle is all the same for everything. It's Adaboy Music. You go type that in, and it'll take you to any of our social media platforms.
Nice.
You got lucky, man, with that. That's crazy that you're able to get Adaboy plastered everywhere like that. That's awesome, man. All right, you guys rock on. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with Rock Down Detroit Lions today. Good luck with everything in your future, ventures here. I don't even think you need the luck, man. You guys are well on your way. So we'll see you around. We'll see you around in the next one, man. Nice to meet you guys, Joe, Mike, Vincent, and say it, Steve. There he is. All right, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care, man.
Thank
you
you
guys at Ford Field.
Thank you guys. Yeah, we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, see you on Sunday.
That's right. We'll see you there. We'll be right back here in about 30 seconds. All right, Eric.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of wrap up. Hold on one sec.
And then there was one.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. Okay, we'll kind of wrap up, man. So we jumped in. Well, I mean, what a good group of guys, right?
Yeah,
yeah. And I totally dig what they're doing with the energy and how they're trying to utilize, I mean, what we are in Michigan and what we are as Detroit Lions fans and what the Detroit Lions are and the new culture and so they're trying to breed positivity. It sucks that Vincent kept dropping out there because he had a lot of really good stuff that he was saying, and I wish there was a way I could fix it on my end, but I love that the positivity part of it. So the more I started looking into him and started to listen to a little bit, I had to get him in here. Had to listen to it one more time. Or had to hear what they had to say and listen to it again. What are your final thoughts on them, and then what else you want to share about the Lions today?
Yeah, I would love it if someone at the Detroit Lions in the stadium could hear this song because, there's only so many times you can play Detroit Rock City. There's only so many times you can play, I don't know, the White Stripes song. There's so many songs. Yeah, I know. I get it. They're from Detroit, or the song's about Detroit. Let's get a new one in there. Let's put something else in the mix. That would be great to hear it played when the players are coming out of the tunnel. I'd love to see it. And if there's any way I can help in making that happen, I'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know I have the info. I don't have the poll, right? I
Yeah,
know I have
me
the
neither.
info and the contact information. If that's, where it needs to start, we can definitely help them with that to get them in touch with the right people. They got to get in there. Why wouldn't they? Especially doing it for free. The Lions would love to have, I'm sure, something like what they're putting on. All right, let me take a look at the Detroit Lions news and rumors real quick, and then we're going to get out of here. So as far as trades and that, obviously nothing's happened yet. But to finish out the day, kind of where we started, there's really not much going on this week until tomorrow morning. Once we jump back in the Rise of Grind morning show at 8 a.m., it'll be 8 a.m. tomorrow. I promise it'll be 8 a.m. because I have to get out of here and go to an appointment. But I'm getting a little bit concerned about something. So Dan Campbell mentioned that Davenport was going to play, like very confident that he was going to play again this season. If you were to twist that all up, you don't think he would be traded, do you?
No. Why? I don't think there's any trade value there. The only team that sees value in Marcus Davenport is the Detroit Lions.
I don't know about that. I think a lot of teams would see value in him. I think the Lions they do such a great job at bringing guys in that have been, kind of pushed aside, if you will. And they got this giant chip, like, well, Brian Branch, he didn't need a chip, any more of a chip, but now he has a bigger chip. But they find these guys that, if you want to call them castaways, not all of them, but you want to call them some castaways in the NFL. And that really burns guys up. You remember how I was talking a couple of months ago, and I said there's some players that we've never seen because they've never been in the limelight. They've never had a big opportunity, and those are probably some of the best players to ever really play the game, but they never made it. And you'll never know, how good they could have been. And sometimes they're just parked down a depth chart. And I made that analogy with, like, Amon-Ra St. Brown and how he was parked down the depth chart, and had there not been a few injuries in front of him and things kind of worked out the way that it did, had he ended up on a roster with Justin Jefferson and Addison, or Higgins and Chase, who knows what would have happened with his career. So I see the way that Brad and Dan look at this to a degree. They want to find those guys that have an edge. And they have an edge because they've seen him play. They've seen him in college, or they've seen him, going through the combine interview process, and maybe they've seen a little bit through preseason or whatever. Had a couple of opportunities in a regular season game, and it's those guys that have an edge that belong in Detroit. I don't think it's any other way. I think that they want high moral, high character, edgy guys.
Yep.
And I think that Marcus Davenport fits all that. He has an edge because people keep talking crap to him or about him or writing crap about him. And I mean, he's just a good old dude, man. Just a good family man that just wants to play football, wants to be left the hell alone. And I don't know why people have to talk trash about him. And if he does play this year, I mean, I hope he gets it all back. I guess I should say when he plays this year, I hope he gets it all back and then some. Because if you look around the league, there are not too many edge defenders like a Marcus Davenport that can do what he does. There's only a couple of guys that are named like, Crosby, Hendrickson, and Myles Garrett. There's only one Myles Garrett, in my opinion. There's only one Jared Verse, in my opinion. There's not too many guys built like that. Aiden, I think he teeters. I think that he does a lot of things great, and I think he does a couple of things that drive me nuts. But at the end of the day, he's still a pretty damn good football player. The point that I'm trying to make is you need guys like a Davenport that does things a little bit differently, but he wins, right? And he causes havoc. There's not too many teams in this league that are able to deploy 2 defensive ends that can win at the same time. That usually doesn't. You don't see that. And you honestly tell me a game where it's happened this year, where you've had 2 guys that have had 3 sacks apiece on the outside. I don't think that that's happened, right? So I don't even know the last time it has happened. So expecting that, I think that you're over expecting. I think you're expecting too much. But all right, we got a big week ahead of us. We'll be back here in the morning for the Rise of Grind morning show. We'll be digging into everything that's going on tonight, everything that went down today. Dan Campbell on 97.1, Dan Campbell's press conference, and other things for tomorrow. But it's Wednesday. We're getting ever so close to the Vikings game here on Sunday, and we'll be breaking it down in the morning. So, and thanks again, Adaboy, for coming on. Nice to meet all of you, and wish you nothing but the best in your future, and hope to see you guys at the game on Sunday. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Take care. Go One Pride. Rockhound Detroit Lions is out for the day, but we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Pressured by Hutchinson, he goes down.